Welcome back. Before I introduce our guests, we have 100 million tweets on the last issue. So I'm going to give Sanzi a few seconds to just run through maybe 2 or 3 before we rush.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a raging topic on Twitter. People are commenting. This is El Sonado. He says, I do not support this. Will the lady just get pregnant for a random guy? If no, the man will ask for his child if you're not marrying him. And Just Shegmovic says, there is nothing wrong with that if the mother or the father can give their ward very good training. Okay. And Iyaji says, you can't put your life on hold. You can get a baby not as a price, but because you need a child.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's move on. Myths and stories based on supernatural beings like gods, goddesses, and heroes, and these tales have lasted for thousands of years because of the meaning and the value they represent in different cultures and ethnicities. Myths try to explain things and usually have deep meanings and carry lessons for both the storytellers and the hearers. Growing up in Nigeria, you get to exposed to many cultural myths like Abiku in the Yoruba land, Osu in Igbo land, etc. What drives these myths? And is there any scientific backing to them? And how realistic are they? To enlighten us is a lecturer from the University of Lagos in the philosophy department, Dr. Douglas Anele. You're going to give us to give you a call to give us your thoughts and comments. You can call us on 070-80668014. You can tweet at us at YourViewTVC. We'd like to hear from you. Sir, you're welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
You're obviously a very popular lecturer in the
in fact, the pretty lady sitting to my left, right, sorry, well, is one of my products.
Really?
So I'm proud of her. She's doing well for herself.
Wow.
See, before we go into...
Mention my name, sir. Don't just say pretty lady.
Don't worry. You see, before we go into myths, because in fact there's a lot of myths circulating around marriage and sex, and I should commend you ladies for what I may call demystification of sex and marriage. You see, the truth of the matter is that our views about marriage and sex are determined basically by the culture in which we grew up, the religions and the society. And many of these cultural beliefs are hardly based on scientific knowledge. You know, you discover that this, I love when Nigerians, and especially men and women, emphasize virginity. For goodness sake, if you're a virgin, what it simply means is that the hymen covering your genital area has not been torn. Exactly. And it doesn't determine the kind of girl or wife you turn out to be. So I think people should focus on substance and leave, you know, trivialities. What matters actually is the emotional component you bring into any relationship. But both men and women have a very confused understanding of what love is. Well, love is a very slippery concept, and it's not something you can encapsulate, even in a whole encyclopedia, because it's a feeling and it's experiential. It's not everything you experience that you can put in words.
Yes.
But so long as there's that emotional component to interaction between a man and woman, or even interaction between men and between women, because we are living in a postmodern society now where possibilities are becoming actuality.
Yes.
I think it depends on the individual, okay?
All right. I don't want us to focus too much on the relationship.
So no, I'm now coming to myths,
all right,
the real issue.
Yes, the real issue of myths, because we all grew up in Nigeria.
Sure.
And it's always been myths of don't cross somebody's way and sitting down, don't cross somebody, don't cross
That's
somebody's
right,
way.
that's right. The myths against left-handedness.
Yes.
You know, myths are old traditional stories, especially they have to do with the origin of things, or what is also called eschatologies, that is the end of things.
Okay.
Also in myths you have heroes and heroines, like the Oduduwa myth in Yoruba, for example. The Bible, especially the Old Testament, and of course some part of the New Testament is rippling with myths.
Really?
Because the creation story is a myth. Nobody was there to observe
That's what
it.
the philosopher would say.
Nobody was there to see
myth.
it. You know, to say that it's particular supernatural
but it was revelation.
They are revealed to a human being who is fallible. How do you know that the person who reported the revelation is reporting exactly what was revealed to him or her?
But it was inspired by the Spirit.
Why have you asked yourself as a woman, why are all these revelations to men?
Should I say something before you
Why isn't there a woman who is telling us something God or Allah or Muhammad or Dudu or whatever revealed to him?
How is that significant?
The significant thing about it is that there's a sexist agenda in religion.
Okay, could I say something? He's a philosopher.
Yeah, I understand that.
And when we were in school, they taught us that we came from the missing link. I had to agree to pass the course, but I didn't agree totally. If you didn't write that down in your paper that yes, you came from that missing link.
No, you're getting it wrong. Nobody will ever tell you that we came from a missing link. What we are saying is that there is a different perspective, which is not mythological, evolutionary theory.
Okay.
There's creationism on one side, which is the most popular view. Now, I'm sure 99% of Nigerians believe this, but I'm sitting there canvassing that you should not begin to take the theory of evolution seriously, because it's also a scientific theory with quite incredible evidence.
So can you tell us how you were created?
That's the most simplistic question I have been asked. My parents, if my mother was alive, I call her or call my father, when did you do your thing? And I'm here. That's the best explanation I can give.
In essence, you're saying you absolutely agree with Charles Darwin, because I do not.
Yes, I do.
It's hard to understand. It's not just Charles Darwin. We have the Yoruba myth, we have the Igbo myth.
Yeah.
Some of them even include the milk or something dropping from the sky,
That's
and then
right.
it evolves and goes to a fish and to a Homo erectus or Homo sapien or whatever. I do not agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I wrote it in school. I had to.
You didn't agree. All right.
It doesn't make sense to me.
No, you see, let me tell you, ladies, okay? You see, the subjects which mythologies cover are those subjects for which there are no explanations from the scientific point of view. And remember, when these mythologies arose, when these mythologies were invented, remember that there was nobody there to record it, to document it. And you discover that over generations, something that started like a Maggi cube, we will now get no cube joined. We will now get what we call in my place. You know the story. You know the problems of oral tradition.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, just so that we don't go too far off, we're talking about the myths that we grew up knowing.
Yes.
Do you have any myths you want to share with us? I
want to talk about a myth that has to do with your color.
Okay, thank you very much.
Talk about albinos.
It's good you came there.
Yes, I'm not afraid to go there.
I know. No, you shouldn't.
One of the myths that I heard about albinos is that your deities.
Yeah, orishas or something. And I like that part,
Of course.
I like to be treated like a deity.
We'll treat it one at a time. Which one have you heard about, Sanzi?
Well, there is this one in my village that at night you don't call snake. If you want to call a snake, you call it a thread, because if you actually call a snake, that it would appear in your compound, and
you can't
it's
just
really
say
not
snake.
a good thing. Yeah, and
you don't say it at night.
And there is this other thing about ghosts that at night.
You see that thing that does.
Yeah, in my place we call it elili. Like
thread.
Right? Yeah. And there is this other one about ghosts. When you're in the marketplace, you put a mirror under your legs, and when you look through, you see that a lot of people are actually not walking.
That they're upside down.
I've been really scared to try that out.
Let's take Ubukun before we take YK's myth. Ubukun, good morning. You there?
Good morning. Good morning, Mutari. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I want to comment on the previous topic about having a child outside wedlock. Okay, Lady, I do not want to agree with you. There's something you said about stamping one or more, I represent an NGO, teenage girls, and they respect you a lot. So saying something like that could actually change their opinion, because you cannot even believe the kind of issues these young girls have on sex. You cannot believe. So please, when we are saying things like this, let's be very sensitive. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, one second. The show is, I hear you. You make a lot of points. You make a lot of sense. The show is about your view. And it was Lydia's view, and we have to respect her view, but I also respect your view. Very, very important. And we just have to strike a balance. You're right, there are young people out there that we don't want them to be trying to get sexually active, and can cause a lot of things. And there's also people out there that believe in what YK said, in what Lydia said. So what the show is about is expressing everybody's view. Let us see women talking about different things, and let us respect each other's views, and so we can show how we can actually live together cohesively, even with different views of life. All right. Yeah. So let's go to YK's. What myths have you heard?
Well, there was one when I was growing up. My grandmother used to say, "Don't put new shoes on the bed."
Don't put what?
New shoes on the bed.
Okay.
That it causes illness. So till today, I don't know if it's true, but
Really?
Till today,
You don't put new shoes?
if you put new shoes on the bed where I am, I will scream, yeah, take it off. You know, because
I heard
I know it's probably a myth, but
yeah. Any other one you want to share, or that's it?
There's this one I'm reading on the web, and it's talking about the Trojan War. Like it's a myth, and I'm even
Troy.
Yeah, I'm even surprised.
All right,
surprised
we'll
about
get to that one. The other one the local one that we know. Something like not eating mango and gari or something like that.
Yes.
Don't eat mango with gari.
Or don't swallow orange seeds. The tree will grow inside you.
When somebody sits on the floor,
don't use the cherry.
Yes.
The cherry seed.
So can you help us address some of these?
Yeah. Let me even start from my own, and she raised it. You see.
Oh, I have to pause you, sir. I have Yanni on the phone. I don't want this line to cut off. Yanni, good morning. I think we just lost the call. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So.
Morning, Lyde.
Good morning. Are you there? I think we lost the call, sir. Please go ahead.
All right. So, now, being an albino in a predominantly black population is traumatic for those who are not properly brought up by their parents. And you know that most parents are ignoramuses. Just like the entire society. I've been told when I was in primary school that maybe because my parents conceived me in a very hot afternoon, hot sun, that is why I'm like this. And you won't believe it, before I got to secondary school, I had known far ahead of my teachers what albinism means. To the extent that when I was in class 3, when secondary schools were secondary schools, I already know about mutation, I know about recessive genes, dominant genes. So I could understand that this is one of the tweaks of nature that is even responsible for evolution, because it is through the mechanism of mutations, especially the advantageous ones, that we have new species that have greater capacity to cope. Okay. Now, there's this mythology, I shouldn't eat salt, I shouldn't eat pepper, all kinds of stuff. That,
pause. I need you to pause. I have Excellency on the phone, because if not, I'll lose the call. Excellency, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
I'm calling on behalf of the last topic you...
Go ahead.
Yeah. I quite agree with, I think, the third lady from your right. From your right.
Sanzi.
Yeah. I think of everybody there, she has a very clear conscience over what is happening, over everything. And that's very good about her. I love that. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, sir. All right.
Yeah.
So,
bye-bye.
So could I continue?
Yeah,
okay, so I've heard all those things. And there's even this mythology that albinos see better at night. Yes. You know, these are nonsense.
Is that true? I heard that too.
But it's not true.
Oh, really?
It's definitely not true. I drive perfectly in the day.
Wow.
Now, at night, the problem is this. When you are driving at night, you know that the environment is dark.
Yes.
So when traffic lights from other cars are coming, the glare. Okay, so I don't drive well at night, but I drive perfectly well in the day.
It happens to me too, and I'm not albino.
Exactly. So, I mean, the truth of the matter is that the mythology about albinos is so excruciating for those who cannot have the psychological wherewithal to cope with it. Imagine when a 6-year-old boy in the whole of the primary school is the only white head there, or a lady. It's even worse for ladies. You know, I know what I had to do, some kind of personal psychoanalysis so that I can cope with. It's not even the color problem that is the issue, it's the stigmatization. I can imagine what albinos, especially ladies, are going through in terms of getting suitable men to relate with. When I was in the youth service, that was several years ago, there was an albino girl. She was lucky. She came from, you know, a well-heeled home, so she studied in England. When she came for youth service, you know, the big Ondo State then, her skin was impeccable because she wasn't in the sun, so nothing to worry her skin. She had her hair. You would hardly know she is a Nigerian. We became a celebrity couple in the camp, you know, that kind of stuff.
All right, let me pause you, sir.
That mythology is...
Okay, I have Cynthia on the phone. Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning. I want to just say that I agree with Sandra, what she said about the childbearing and the wealth. I also want to say that there's a myth that, like when I was very, very young, my mom always told me that when your hand is itching, it means money is coming. Yes. And when your leg is itching, it means that you want to travel. And they are also called superstitions. And when I was in secondary school, they taught us about all this stuff like menstruation, how childbearing is brought about, and how albinos are made. It's like when the father and the mother, they have some part of their body and their genetic parts of organs, they are not properly fixed, and the color would change, their complexion. Because there was a family that there were two of them and they were very black, and they brought about a young white girl. And I was also watching a movie that there was a man that turned out to be a woman and a woman that turned out to be a man. So all these myths are not really true.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry, can I just say something?
Yes.
I want to say something about that one about the leg itching. Yeah. The leg itching, I think I believe that myth because my leg used to itch me like hell when I was in my early 20s. My leg was itching, and I'm telling you, I've traveled far and wide.
What about those whose legs never itched and they have traveled more than you?
The ones whose legs never itched.
The truth of the matter, let me tell you. You see, we need to grow a scientific spirit. Yes. We need to base our beliefs on evidence. That's what you need. That is science for you. Now, you said that you had the myth about putting new shoes on a bed and all that. If I were the one, I would put my new shoe there and see for myself. If I get sick, I get cured too. Falling sick is part of being alive. Yes. You can't be alive without falling sick. And this idea of your hands, I know a lot of poor people whose hands are itching them every morning, and they are still living 8 in one room, face me and face you.
Maybe they will get money that day now. It doesn't mean you're going to be rich.
Oh, just means you see, but supposing you ask yourself, could there be a skin irritation responsible for that?
Okay, I need to pause you, sir. I have Amaka on the phone. Amaka, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
The rate you punch me.
Sorry, sir. Go ahead, Amaka.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling in respect of the first topic you talked about. And I think I'm in support of what Laide is saying. In as much as we don't want to face the facts about sampling, but I think it makes sense so that you know what you're getting into. I think we should do that. Okay. Then secondly, there's this myth on autism, where they say that the child is an adiku. And I find that very, very, very worrisome because I have an autistic child, and the child being referred to as an adiku is kind of painful. Yeah. Thank you very much. And that's she talking on the line. Thank you.
Yeah, so you see, these mythologies, they become more worrisome when it deals with the individual psyche. As I said myself, thank goodness, one of the reasons why I'm happy being an albino is that I was able to develop psychological courage as a child. So these days people ask, Dr. Nele, nothing seems to bother you, you don't seem to fear. I say, fear what? I was alone in the whole primary school with my white head. In secondary, so I was virtually alone at the University of Lagos. Well, in fact, I'm the only albino lecturer there. One left.
We noticed when we were there.
The only person there now with me then has gone to Ireland. So you see, when I'm used to being alone, I'm used to being the minority. Okay. In my family, I'm the atheist. In my family, I'm the only one that does not go to church. So my point is that mythologies.
I have a call. Okay. I do apologize about that. Final call is already. We only have 1 minute left. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. You ladies are looking beautiful.
Yes, Tolu. Good morning. Go ahead.
All right. So I want to refer to the first question you guys were talking about.
Yes. Go ahead.
About the marriage. You say it's a very sensitive issue, and what a lot of me-30 women still single. Well, I'm a single mother, and I would advise anybody that wants to have a child to be sure they can take care of the child, because it's not easy. And at the same time, I would say before you think of having sex, be sure of where you stand.
Okay.
I'm not about holier than thou attitude, but I would say that if you want to have sex, you must have, be sure of the person you want to have the sex with.
Fantastic.
And secondly, I think
about this myth. I think we can call it superstition, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This society is highly superstitious, and I think it's about time we get over all this thing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tolu. I think Tolu rounded this thing up perfectly. The first issue, if you're going to have sex at all, virgin or no virgin, if you decide to have sex, you must be ready for the consequence. And if you're an adult, you can actually choose to have your child. If you feel that you have to break up with the relationship, break it off or whatever reason, but be able to take care of the child. On the issue of the myths, yes, we're very superstitious, but I think Oga said something very, very important. We need to get more scientific. Because as we get more scientific, when we have an autistic child, we will to relate and understand where he's coming from.
That's right.
And not yes.
So
I need to take. We're running out of time. Take for 2 tweets. And we got to run. Yeah, 2 tweets, please. Hurry up.
Well, K.O. Akin says, well, if everyone keeps expressing their view about being positive as at large, what is the need?
Okay.
That's pretty much.
My father said he was an Abiku. He said actually that when he first came, they gave him the name Hildegard, and he couldn't imagine himself as a Hildegard, so he died and came back as. And they renamed him Fela. That was his
own story. Sanzi, your final. I have to round up. You
should have given me to round up because I'm the last person to come.
Round up. Sorry, you can't.
No. You can't say. I will say something. You see, the truth of the matter is that Nigerians are too unscientific.
Yes.
We need to, even people who call themselves professors in universities are very mythological and superstitious. Okay. I think the earlier we learn to base our beliefs on evidence, concrete evidence, the better for us.
All right. Thank you so much for watching the show today. It's been a great show. Don't forget to watch our repeat broadcast. Today is Thursday, so it's 11:30 and not 11 p.m. As always, domestic violence is illegal and legal. Please take advantage of the laws. Have a good morning. Take care.